Second key to empowerment, a group vision. A group vision functions to provide a clear collective destination and a sense of how it should be achieved. Black Americans are very fortunate to have survived nearly 4 centuries of slavery and Jim Crow semi slavery without a vision of where they should be going and how they should get there. We did not even have the benefit of a group dream until the end of the Black Civil Rights Movement. The dream, however, was based on a very broad and am- amorphous, on very broad and amorphous concepts of freedom, equality, and justice. All of these concepts are relative and very difficult to define. On the other hand, they are palatable and excellent motivators, especially for a group whose acceptable options at the time were regulated to marching and demonstrating. Today, we need more practical, tangible, and measurable racial goals and supportive activities that bear directly on resolving our wealth inequality and inappropriate behavior patterns. We should accept nothing less. History is full of examples of how oppressed groups envisioned their escape by taking power for themselves. For those who did obtain freedom or justice, their vision was always the key that unlocked the door to the group's resources. Their vision was always the key that unlocked the door to their group's visions or resources, rather. In biblical times, Moses had a vision for his people that drove him and thousands of poor Jews through almost unsurmountable obstacles to the envisioned promised land. Moses had a vision, not a dream. A vision means the mind's eye is wide open. A dream implies the mind is asleep. Jews today remain committed to Moses' vision of a powerful, self sufficient minority religious group. Thousands of years after their exodus, Jews in Israel are politically and economically powerful. There are more recent examples here in the United States of a minority group with a group vision. Generations of poor European immigrants came to the country with a vision of expropriating Indian land and using free black labor to shape a new world. This vision resulted in the building of the United States of America, the world's greatest superpower. Spanish speaking people, now called Hispanics, are another example. They have a vision. Not only are they coming to America for an improved quality of life, but according to William V. Flores and Rena Ben Mayor in their book Latino Cultural Citizenship and Public Statements by the Council of La Raza, Hispanics are coming to America with a vision of becoming a majority minority over blacks. While black Americans are while black Americans are fighting the battles of civil rights for everybody, these two authors explain that Hispanics are working to have cultural rights equated to blacks' legal rights. Jeffrey Fox, in his book Hispanic Nation, proclaimed that a new ethnic identity is being constructed in the United States, made up of Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and all other Spanish speaking groups that will surpass blacks in population and change the political focus from black and white to white and Hispanic. Their vision is to achieve economic and political power over major geographic areas of the United States, especially the southwestern and southeastern states. Whether Jews, European whites, or Hispanics, all of these groups have used their group vision to move their people. The collective vision is in the mind's eye of the group, and it plays a vital role in guiding the group's behavior. Our national empowerment vision will function the same way. It will be used to focus our attention, give us a single minded purpose, serve as a template for decision making, and establish group direction. For example, when Black America is asked then which way is north, they will not all point in different directions. Their direction will be anchored in reality. Black America must have a vision that describes that black people need and Black America must have a vision that describes what black people need and what they are capable of becoming by a specific year in the future. In order not to be pie in the sky, the vision must be linked to a realistic plan. The Powernomics vision for Black America. The Powernomics vision is a Black America that is politically and economically self-sufficient and competitive by the year 2005. The Powernomics vision is a Black America that is politically and economically self-sufficient and competitive by the year 2005. The Powernomics Group's vision is crafted to do a number of things. First, it is called the Powernomics Vision to lock into Black America's mind a concept that defines the solution for our racial predicament. We need economic power. This newly coined phrase and vision will keep us from wandering back into the pursuit of limited social goals. Secondly, the vision is very specific. It tells us what we are seeking: political and economic self-sufficiency and competitiveness. Any acts or issues that do not result in greater ownership and control of economic and political resources for Black Americans do not fit the Powernomics template and should be given a low priority. Third, the group vision sets a timetable, the year 2005. This is a short but workable timetable if we commit ourselves to the task. Any shorter period is unrealistic. any longer period, and we would be too far into a permanent underclass for any actions to make it a real difference. The Powernomics vision is offered as a beginning point, but Black America is free to use it as a guide and build on it as required. The Powernomics vision reduces confusion about issues and makes it more difficult to mislead the group into focusing time and resources on symbolism rather than substance. The Powernomics vision, founded on an empowerment culture, prioritizes and directs our energy and resources into activities that result in black people becoming more self-sufficient and competitive. There are many examples of activities that are at odds with black empowerment, such as including blacks in the concept of minority. For example, major American corporations are again pushing Congress to increase the immigration quota on the number of highly trained foreign nationals who could immigrate into this country to fill high-tech jobs. This practice has a direct impact on black Americans. Trained in their country of origin, these immigrants represent a free ride for American corporations. They do not have to pay for the training of the immigrants, and they also avoid paying taxes to educate undereducated Americans, especially black Americans, for these high-tech jobs. They do not feel any political obligation to hire black Americans, even though there are also many black scientists and engineers already qualified for these high-tech positions. A group of black engineers, physicists, and other scientists formed a coalition to fight corporate efforts to bring in more immigrants over blacks. To fight These immigrants are rarely, if ever, from a black country. Unfortunately, the coalition of black engineers and physicists made the mistake of framing the issue as a minority issue rather than a black issue. The group solicited support from the Congressional Black Caucus. The response from the Congressional Black Caucus was to ask the measures was to ask that measures be taken to boost minority employment. The response of the White House further misfocused the issue. Rather than aiding the black scientists and engineers, the White House recommended legislation to provide training programs to all Americans with a special emphasis on minorities, women, poor students, and the disabled. These black engineers got what they asked for. The immigrating technical workers are non-black minorities. The problem? Nobody wants to propose black solutions for black problems. Society is more comfortable recommending broad minority solutions for problems that are actually unique to black people alone than are society is more comfortable recommending broad minority solutions for problems than are more comfortable than that are um, actually unique to black people. You got that wrong. All right. The recommendations of the black scientists, the Congressional Black Caucus, and the White House will help Hispanics, women, and a myriad of other groups, but not one will help the black scientists who raised the issue. Hispanics and all of the imported foreign workers will be direct competitors to blacks because of their minority status. Requesting assistance for minorities is actually requesting assistance for competing groups. The solution fashioned did not solve the problem of black scientists. In contrast, the Powernomics vision is designed to give a sense of direction based on group self-interest to economically and politically empower black people by the year 2005. The third key. The third key to empowerment. The third key to empowerment is to support Powernomics paradigms that can function as windows through which Black Americans, Black America's view of the world is further refined. We must not underestimate the importance of having paradigms that guide us to see, think, and behave as a group based upon our own self-interest. We must not underestimate the importance of having paradigms that guide us to see, think, and behave as a group based on our own self-interest. These two paradigms are ethno-aggregation and vertical integration. Integration. They align with the Powernomics vision for Black America and shore up intergroup deficiencies and counter the most insidious aspects of cultural racism and inappropriate behavior. These Powernomics paradigms are very important tools in our empowerment chest. They are specifically formulated, designed, and engineered to further shape and guide black people's behavior in the 21st century. The old civil rights paradigms no longer make sense in a competitive, pseudo-colorblind society. They are not grounded in reality. They have encouraged and prepared blacks to compromise rather than to compete. Jeff Gates, in his book Ownership Solution, helped to define the role of the paradigm. He stated the word paradigm came from the Greek word for pattern, and it was used by Plato to describe a basic form or image encompassing one's fate and fortune and determining one's destiny. In other words, paradigms are deeply held assumptions or values that operate like models, templates, or patterns. They shape what we see in a cultural and racial context. In practical applications, using the Powernomics vision and paradigms is comparable to dressmaking. The process begins with the dressmaker's vision of the garment he or she wants to create. In the vision, it is clear whether the garment will be a dress or a blouse. After the dressmaker has decided on the nature of the garment, he or she needs a pattern or paradigm to ensure that the pieces cut for the garment are identical to the pattern. The pattern will determine whether the dress will be long or short, half sleeves, a gathered waist, or flared skirt. The pattern ensures that all the dresses made from the pattern are the same. Likewise, the Powernomics paradigms will shape our group thinking and behavior, establish a consistent group mindset, and guide Black America's collective decision making. They will reduce conflicts and establish a stage upon which we can act out our respective roles. As much as we would like to believe this nation is a melting pot and that we are indivisible, that is not and never has been the case. We are a collection of groups bound together by one national government, but we still have different histories, agendas, cultures, and needs. Black Americans remain outside of the mainstream society because whiteness is non porous to blackness. Is black success totally dependent on acceptance into the white mainstream society? No, it is not. The two paradigms that follow are the next two empowerment keys. They will help Black America to own and control resources so that they can compete, inside or outside of the mainstream society.